Okay, let's just make sure this is working. Awesome. Hey there. So I'm back. I have another video that I would like to share with you all. And in this particular video, we have another singer that I worked with. His name is Sawyer. And when he came to me, he had some complaints about his voice that he was having trouble around the passaggio, so around like F above middle C, and it was very inconsistent. And F sharp and G above middle C were basically mostly out of the question most of the time for him. So I'll go ahead and I'll let you hear what he sounded like prior to starting lessons. So just give me one moment here while I load up the video for you. And I will get me out of the way so you can see this better. Okay, so I'm around there. That's what he sent me as part of his initial assessment so I could get a sense of how his voice behaved. Okay, I'll get rid of me. Now you guys can all listen to this. Just making sure it's good. All right.
Few things that got me a lot further, and one of them was the Chikuza. It was like classical mixed voice thing. We started working on that. I'll give you a quick example of what that was like. We done a 1 to 4 scale, oohs, e's, stuff like that. So I'll do top note E to top note like A, something like that. So if you see, I'm cracking out a little bit right there. I do a little bit better with the E. So here's top note G. G sharp. That was an A. It's kind of awkward and uncomfortable though. So maybe you can tell me if I'm doing that right or wrong. Next thing, we quit working on that because she talked about how I was doing a false cover. And I may be still doing that, I don't know, I'm sure you can tell. But I was doing a false cover with my tongue. The back of my tongue was pushing down on my larynx and causing a muddied sound. and I think that's probably part of my problem with that. I don't know, it sounds really dopey when I try to sing like that. So maybe we can work on that, I don't know. And so in order to fix that, we switched from working on that to working on getting more ping, or what is it, twang, you know, like pharyngeal resonance, brighter resonance in my singing. And I'll give you an example of it's a 1 to 5 exercise we did on that. I'll give you an example of what we did on that, starting with E and going up to like a G. So, we didn't get very far this. I think this is the top note, F sharp. And I could still be doing the tongue thing, I don't know. Here's a G. See, I cracked out there. But that's what we were trying to do. And so like an F is a good place for me to really get that front forward sound she was talking about. It seems really bright. And I could be just totally missing it there. It doesn't feel super comfortable, super easy. It feels like there's a lot of resonance going on. Oh no! Whoa, whoa. So I'm cracking out at the G. Anyways, point being, that's what we did, and so there's some things maybe for you to check out and just to get you an idea of what I'm going through here. I'll do you a quick thing on this song here, the Build My Life song that I sent you. Here's the original key. And I will So the top note there is like an E or something. And I seem to do better with that, like a half step up or maybe a whole step up. But it's the lowest song and the one that I'm closest to being ready to do. Um, so maybe you can just see what's going on with my voice there. A little bit nervous. I think that's why I got like a shaky thing going on right now and cracked some. But anyways, hopefully that gives you an idea. Looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow, man.
Okay. So that was the initial video that he sent me, assessment. And what you can hear is what my assessment of that was, his voice was too thin. He wasn't singing with enough bottom end in his voice. Like he was just barely engaging his chest voice, like just enough to find some semblance of a connection, but not enough for it to really actually be stable and functional and usable for him. He was singing far too bright, much too high larynx. He needed more depth to the voice, and the voice also needed to be stronger. It was too weak. And of course, like I'm working with everyone, vowels, 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 and more vowels. So what you will hear is in this next clip, this is the first session we did together where he's singing that same song. You'll hear that there's more depth to the voice now. Instead of being so like, ooh, ooh, ee, it's more, ooh, ee, where you get more of this engagement of the depth of the vocal cord and more meat in the voice to make it stable and balanced. So I'll play that for you now. 1 second, I'll get out the way so you can see it and check it out. Here you go.
I can't. I think I could, but I would just. And it's weird because the thing I would have to think of is brassy and thin and small.
Try it just for a moment, just so you can really describe more of the difference that you're hearing and feeling.
Worthy. Oh gosh, it sounds so bad now in my ears. I can't believe I sang like that, man.
No, now try it the new way.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Man, that was right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. I skipped a part, but we live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes. Eyes.
My eyes, my eyes, my eyes. Instead of my eyes, you try to jump and force into the note that way. My eyes.
My eyes.
Yeah, that's how you approach it. Like that, like that.
In wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Better?
Rail, everything is good except for that. Rail, around me.
Around me.
Good. Okay, keep going.
I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken.
Now you sound like you're singing it like you mean it. Keep going.
Awesome. I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. Woo.
Keep going.
Woo. Okay, keep on. Holy, holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my heart. Oh, God.
Open up my eyes. Open up my eyes. Like that. Eyes.
Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are.
Who you.
Who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me.
Do that to those. I want you to be very secure with where that note and that vowel lies. To those. Listen again. You're going to the, and you want to go like that until the note. Listen a little bit. Okay, so that was from the very first lesson that he and I had together. So what you will hear is, number one, the voice is stronger. Number two, he's singing into his voice more. Is it a little bit too dark at times? Yes, but it's a process and a phase that we had to go through in order for him to get from point A to point B. He had to go through that. So a lot of people would hear that and they go, well, I don't want to sound that dark and blah, 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 blah. It's a process. It's not the end result. It is a process moving to where he needed to be, because he needed to learn to let his larynx relax more in his throat instead of being in this high larynx position, as you heard in the first clip. So you hear that there was already progress. That was just lesson number one, that there was already progress just within that clip. And then the following week, we had another lesson where we started to be able to work on the higher range a bit more. So give me 1 second. I will load that up for you somewhere along in here. And I'll do this. And now you should be able to see it. I think my stream froze for a second. I just want to make sure it's back now. Should be back now. Okay, so back to this clip. It just sounds so smooth when you go into the note. So just for one quick little explanation here, what we were doing there is we were working on vowels. Again, like I said, I work on vowels a lot with everyone. We were going from one vowel to the next, E-O, to get used to that transition in the context of a musical phrase. This is something I just made up for him on the spot, so he could exercise his vowels. And that's up to the G sharp. The G sharp that he's saying that he normally can't even get close to doing. This is just lesson number 2. Okay, so let me get back out the way and then continue that clip. It literally sounds like an instrument playing.
Sweet, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so we'll try it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember what here we go. To it, well, I can't remember what I did. So you definitely will have to listen back to that. Good. Very good. Let's try this one here. We're gonna switch. Oh, you don't have to smile so much for this one, but you do still have to open. Good. On the bottom note. E, E, E.
Good.
Yep. No, you got it. Do it here. Very good. Now, okay. So what you hear there is he's able to hang out on those notes more. The position of all of his vowels have changed. The E is no longer E. It's not bright and high larynx and tight like that. He's doing it with more bottom end. Now, I am having him exaggerate the E just a little bit until he gets used to the position. He needs to practice it like that. But you can hear the voice is more stable now. It's not so shaky and wobbly like it was in the before clip when he was trying to do those same notes. He's able to have some flexibility and pliability in them. It's, you know, the voice is not rigid and stuck. But he's still keeping the strength behind it at the same time. He's still singing into his voice. So let me go on and show you the next clip. This is from the third lesson that we did. This is probably like maybe 2 weeks later. So give me one moment. We're doing something different. So what we're doing here in this particular lesson is we're working on building more strength into the voice and also building more clearness in the vowel. Because as I mentioned in the first lesson, I had him singing darker, so he got used to the throat relaxing more. Then by the time we got to the second lesson, he was getting more used to that position, but then I had him start focusing on, okay, now we're getting ready to start singing a little bit brighter to bring more clearness into the sound, but without tightening up and raising your larynx at the same time in order to sing brighter. So you'll hear that when he does, we're doing jumps here, octave jumps, that when he does the lower note of the scale, that he, instead of it being more like a now it's more he's getting more of that sound on the bottom. So listen to what he does here. Let me get out the way again. There you go, like that. Can you do that again? And we're also working on modified vowels there just to make that clear. That's it. Do that again. Now do the same thing here. We'll do the same thing here. Do this one. Okay, for this one, you're starting to get into different territory, so we'll come back to this one for now. Good. Now go even stronger on that top note if you can. Like intense bass, stay in that same basic sound. Just add more intensity behind it. Swell the volume more as you hold it out. Yeah, get used to committing to that intensity. That's the minimum intensity you need now for these notes. Try that again. Good. Do that again. Swell into that even more. You'll find it. You found the sweet spot. You found the place. Now you just have to get used to exploring it and go, wait, I can go louder. Wait, I can still go louder. Wait, I can still go louder. And nothing really has to change. Nothing has to suddenly go and seize up on me. Oh, I can just stay there. Find out how far you can take it. There you go. Now get comfortable with it.
Man, I've never sang that loud in my life. I don't think that was loud. I feel like
it'll still go louder than that, but you just have to you want to build familiarity with that place and a lot of comfort with it. So what you just heard there was him. We're working up to the G, like really focusing in on his. Hold on one second. This is being weird again. Sorry, I thought I froze there for a second. So what you heard is we were working there up to the G above middle C, really focusing in on the middle area, but especially going towards that G and building more strength into it without going high larynx, without getting the vowels all out of place and so on and so forth. So we had to work with modified vowels at first. But you can hear at the end of that clip, that he is really able to lean into it more. These are sustained notes. Just tapping a note and sustaining a note are two totally different things. They're like worlds apart. This is actually sitting on that note, swelling it and sustaining it, and you see it's getting much more stable for him, especially compared to the before clip. Now you're going to hear as the continuation of this lesson that he still ends up going even stronger than that, because I have to keep encouraging him, stay there, go stronger, stay there, go stronger, get used to that place. So you'll hear that more. 1 second, I'll play this for you so you can hear it.
Both.
So now try it again until you get used to it and make it your friend. Oops, 1 moment, the video looks like it's frozen. I need to start that again. Okay.
Both.
So now try it again until you get used to it and make it your friend. Good, and get used to swelling into that top note even more. Don't be afraid of it. There you go, that's it. And then the more you swell into it, the more you almost feel like you have to open your mouth more.
Yeah, definitely.
Try that again. Good, now here's a trick. As you go really loud, you still can't lose the quality. Even if you're opening like all the way, you still you can't open to the point where you lose the quality, because if it starts going and then just lost the quality. You went, there's no the in the voice anymore. So you can't go to the point where you lose that. As soon as you lose that, then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So go as loud as you can without losing the There you go, that's it.
Wow, yeah. Okay.
All right, so you hear there, especially on this one at the end, the very last one that he did, there is a lot more strength behind the voice. Now, it's still not a finished product. It's these are the steps and the processes that you have to go through one at a time in order to build the voice. This is not the end result. This is not the end stage. But considering where he started from, and just for 3 lessons, that's a pretty dramatic transformation, because he can do it with stability now. Now, unfortunately, shortly after that lesson, he was weightlifting and ended up having a hernia and had to stop singing because he couldn't put any pressure on his abdominal cavity. So we didn't get a chance to continue developing that more. But these are the stages that you would go through. So this is a little bit of what he had to say about that process. I'll let you hear him describe it in his own words.
All right, I want to.
I guess if you could just briefly tell me, like, what are some of the issues that you were having with your voice prior to starting these lessons?
So before we started, my biggest issues were just a limited range, and also.
So up to what note, if you recall?
So F4, I could hit it, but I had to really be prepared. I feel like I really sing a whole lot that day before I would be willing to hit that in front of people. F sharp 4 and G4 were like the no-go zone, because it was hit or miss. So that was the other thing, is that I was really inconsistent.
Okay.
And it was scary to try to hit high notes, because I was like, well, I can hit it sometimes, but you never know. It's going to be a hit or miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And okay, so what would you say are some of the biggest differences that you've been experiencing now out of the few lessons that we've had?
So number one, consistency, and ease with the higher notes, that I was once scared to try to attempt in front of people. I know that they're there, and I'm not afraid to hit them, and they're much more comfortable, and also more powerful, much louder, powerful, fuller sounding for sure.
Good, good. And okay, let me just give me 1 sec so I can skip ahead to where I need to be for this. Okay, there we go. Okay, you mentioned that you have a lot more power and ease
Yeah.
within your voice. Also, I think one of the things is that your voice is sitting a little bit higher now than it was before
Yes.
previously.
Yes, definitely. Like, I think before when I would plan songs, uh, because of my because of how unsure I felt about my highest notes, I would really kind of set them low. And even then, it was just hard and uncomfortable to kind of stay in what should be more like my middle range, I guess.
Hmm.
And um, I know that song that I sent you, it was moderately high for me to sing, and I was singing it in G, and then I started working with you, and immediately we took it up to A sharp
Hmm.
because, and it makes more sense now when I try to sing it in G. I have to, it's just not where that song should be. It's too low for me. And whereas before it seemed high, and I don't know. Yeah,
Hmm.
everything's sitting much higher. Um, I feel like I have a higher voice now. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You do, and it's continuing to come out more and more and more as you get even more comfortable with the really high range. Then your voice will just kind of want to stay there.
Sweet.
It doesn't want to live in low baritone land anymore. And that's what I find interesting is some of the songs that you sent me. I think eventually, over the course of maybe a good 6 months or so, you're going to outgrow them and they might start feeling too low for you.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because, when I sent them to you, I was thinking, oh, all of these songs are too high. That's how I was feeling when I sent them to you. So that's awesome to hear.
Yep. So, okay, I'm trying to think of one more thing. What would you say was your biggest fear coming into these lessons?
Um, my biggest fear, I've taken lessons, before, and I was just afraid, that I would never improve. I was afraid that I would never improve, and that maybe it was just me, or maybe it was my ability to understand what people were trying to tell me, or maybe it was something physical. Maybe I just didn't have the right control that I needed, or something. But that was totally not true. I mean, after the first lesson, there was change. I mean, like, so that fear was gone, right off the bat. So that was the biggest thing, though. Afraid that I couldn't learn how to sing, just me.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think that's about it. Hold on. Okay, the final thing would be okay about what you said the last time when you said something along the lines of that when I would tell you some of the sensations, you would say that's exactly what I was feeling. Could you describe that a little bit more?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, what's blown my mind about our lessons is, I knew that you could sing and everything before I came to you. I heard you sing and everything, and I was like, okay,
Thanks.
this guy's got it. You know what I mean? So, that was awesome. But what's blown me away is that when you tell me, hey, you need to tweak it this way, or a vowel, or maybe give it this kind of intensity or this kind of volume, or even with what you told me with tilting my head and things like that, everything that you've instructed me to do to reshape my vocal tract and to try to improve my sound, and what you told me to expect when I made those changes, it's been right on. So you say, hey, maybe make that vowel sound more like this, and it'll feel like this, and that is what happens. I mean, absolutely, and that's what's been so impressive to me because before I've had people, say, maybe try to do this, and it should feel this way, and what I feel is totally not what they're saying, and
Hmm.
and I feel like, well, maybe I'm just messing it up, or maybe that's I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling, but when you say something should feel this way, it feels that way. And that's been the biggest help because it's helped me to kind of follow the right track.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so I'm back here now, and hopefully this is still going. All right, perfect. So you can hear what he had to say about the process, that some important things that he found more consistency, more comfort in what he's doing. And those are really key things that you need to look for that first before you're looking for a better sound. It's going to feel better to you before it sounds better, before it sounds exactly the way that you want. If you try chasing a sound first, you're just going to end up creating problems for yourself. So, but that comment was so key, that oh, it's feeling more stable, more comfortable now. I feel like I can actually do this in front of people now. Those are all really, really important things that he said there. But as I said, this was only 3 lessons over the course of 4 weeks, and that's incredible progress for such a short amount of time. So, if any of you are interested in taking one-on-one lessons with me, I am available to do Skype lessons. He was located in Virginia, which is on the other side of the country. Um, but we still were able to do lessons and have great improvements like that. If you have if you would like to sign up for a lesson, there should be a link in the description underneath the video. And be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thumbs up if you liked Sawyer's progress, and hopefully I'll be talking with you again soon. All right, bye.